Welcome, ladies, to the Real Estate InvestHER Show, providing inspiration, strategies, and insight to empower women investors to live balanced and financially free lives. Now, here are your co-hosts, Liz and Andresa.
Welcome back, ladies. This is Liz.
And this is Andresa.
You are back on the Real Estate InvestHER Show, where we are dedicated to serve women who are in this real estate investing business to live balanced and financially free lives. So we are back with one of our mini-sodes. Woohoo! And today, Andresa has a lovely story to share.
So lovely.
So lovely. Well, lovely, it depends on how you look at lovely,
Yes.
but Andresa, go to it there. Tell us what's happening.
So very quick about my own personal story. I was born and raised in Brazil. After I graduated, I did my MBA there. And in 2008, I decided to come to the US for a 1-year cultural exchange program and go back. You know who I am, right, Liz? So within 6 months, I applied for a master's degree. Look at that.
I'm surprised it took you 6 months.
So the funny thing is that I did not have a full plan. Okay, how I'm going to pay for this tuition, how I'm going to do everything else. And the funny part is I got accepted by LaSalle University. I was like, this is great, right? This is great. Now I just need to change my visa to a student visa. And then we're all good to go. So I received a letter from the university confirming that I've got approved, but I needed to go back to Brazil. I don't know, the rules at that time were, I don't know, weird. You got to go back and then come back again. So I traveled back 9 hours and a half and met my mom at the airport, and we went straight forward to the embassy. I was like, might as well do this right now and then enjoy the weather. So I went to the embassy and I presented everything, and the lady gave me a paper. And when I look at that paper, it had in big letters, visa denied. And I was like, what? Hold on a second. Why did it get denied? I have the confirmation from the university here and everything else. So they gave me 2 reasons. The first one is that I didn't have a tie with Brazil, meaning I didn't have a job or a university that I was working or studying at. I was like, yes, of course, I can. I'm going to start a master's degree in the US. How am I possibly be at 2 places? Anyway, it didn't make too much sense for me, but it was not my job to keep going back and forth with the lady that just stamped my denied visa. The second part is that I had to show on my bank account that I have the full tuition.
Wow.
At that time was about $75,000. And the currency in Brazil was like 144, meaning 4 reais equals $1. So I need to have 4 times more, $75,000. Of course, I didn't have that. And if I combine everybody's cash, it wouldn't make sense. So I was like, I'm pretty much done. So when I came out of the embassy and I look at my mom's face, my mom's always very positive. And she was like, how was it? Was it cool? I was like, no, I got denied. She first thought I was joking with her, but I was not.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I had a 4-hour drive back home at that time. So after so many tears, because the first reaction was like, I'm going to cry this out.
Of course.
Because I had a plan in my head. I was very excited about the curriculum and everything else. And then I was in the back of the car, laying down, crying my balls out. And then my mom let that happen. But then once I was done, I remember very clear. I stood up and she said, what's the plan? I was like, what? I just got denied. You were asking me for a plan right now? She was like, we have about 3 hours and a half. So we might as well discuss a plan now. So I did 2 things. first of all, I looked at everybody that I knew, who I know that can help me here. So I contacted the communication coordinator for my previous university. I had a great relationship with her, and I contacted her and I said, this is my problem here. I need to have a tight, quote unquote, tight, meaning, can you provide a letter to me saying that once I finish my master's degree, you can possibly give me a job or something that I can come back to? She was like, well, yes, we're always looking for, new professors and everything else. That will be very, very cool. So I got that. And then the second part was the funds. And then I was like, well, let's go back to the network that I have and see who do I know. At that time, I didn't have a clue about what was OPM, but I did it without even knowing it. So the host family that I was living with, I knew that they did have. And we had created a very, very deep, meaningful relationship that we still remain up to this day. And I'm so grateful for everything that they have done for me that really changed the course of my life. So they basically wrote a letter confirming that if I didn't pay for the tuition, that they would pay for it.
Wow.
1 week later, I went back to the same lady and she was about to stamp denied again. And I said, excuse me. Excuse me, just 1 second. Did you read those 2 letters? She's like, not really. I was like, would you please read them? Because I am addressing both issues extremely clear and I would like to move forward with it. And then she's like, oh, okay, that makes a difference. And then she stamped the approval.
Wow.
Later on, I applied for a scholarship and then didn't have to use any of the family funds or anything else. And here I am without owning 1 penny to the university or anybody else.
What an experience. Oh my gosh. The fact that you persevered through that. Oh my Lord. God, I couldn't imagine that happening to me. I mean, I don't know. That's amazing. You persevered through that.
Yeah. Looking back, at that time when it happened, it was not fun. And it was not even like a possibility that it could possibly be denied. And I really thinking back, if I had accepted the no, my entire life would be completely different. We wouldn't be talking right now. So I wanted to share like 3 things that I learned from this lesson. Number 1, no has the meaning you give it to it. So on the book, Never Split the Difference, the FBI author, he explains that no is just the beginning of a negotiation process, not the end. So get the no as soon as possible in a conversation. The second thing that I learned, that you already heard that your net worth is your network, and I couldn't believe that it could be more true than that. I looked over everything, everybody, every possibility. So I had crazy ideas, but I scratched them out. But I had, just brainstorming ideas and contacting people, and they got different ideas. And that's how I was able to figure things out. So look at the resources that you have around you, and they will be able to either brainstorm with you or already offer the solution for your problem right there. And the third and last question is, the lesson actually is, if you really want something, you will find a way. Your dream needs to be bigger than your fears. And I think that was my big take over here. My dream, not to live an American dream. I never had that. But to go and have a master's degree here, knowledge fulfills my soul. That's what I was dreaming. And that's why I didn't think of any fear that could be bigger than that.
Yeah. And I love what you're saying, Andresa, because what you're saying and the lessons you learned, I mean, that was you hope that doesn't happen to anyone, right? That their visa gets denied, like go back to your country. Like that's intense. But you know what, what you just shared in terms of the lessons that you got from it, people can apply to really any small or large challenge. So
absolutely
awesome. I think that was a really powerful story and something that will hold true with the ladies listening. So thank you.
Awesome. So we hope you guys enjoyed this mini episode and stay tuned for the next one.
Keep making things happen there, ladies.
Thank you, ladies. Bye. If you enjoyed this podcast and want to receive updates on our next interviews, go to our website, therealestateinvestor.com. There, you can subscribe to our show, become part of our investor community, and get updates on upcoming episodes.
If you like our show, please share it with other women who would benefit. And don't forget to leave us a rating on iTunes. We'd really appreciate it. And as always, we encourage you to take one action as a result of today's show and put it into motion so you can live both a financially free and balanced life. Thanks for spending time with us.
Ciao.